Welcome back. Bring it on in, Money Mafia. Listen, are you guys noticing the greatest generational wealth transfer that's under play, guys? Are y'all noticing the mind games? This just in, Nvidia has another price target raise, which we're going to go over. AMC rocketing up from the cresps. We talked about this yesterday. The emergency injunction that we were hoping for has been put in front of the judge. So we're trying to see, like I said, guys, I'll be one tomorrow. I'm obviously going to be doing my load up of XRP, the game changer. Every single week or 2 weeks, I drop in about $100, $150 to XRP, irregardless of the climate. But also, I'm going to be picking up some more Nvidia tomorrow. And then also, I'll put some dry powder out there just in case I need to scoop me up some more AMC. Because like I said, this thing gets halted again. Off to the races. Like I said, guys, we got some good numbers. Everybody should know this is a great day in the market. We got a good price range we're going to go over. But before we get down to the nitty-gritty in the front of it, let's go over this clip right here. It is the claimant captain, but I don't believe that we're going to see our beautiful redhead Liz. I think this is just up under her show title. But let's double tap down as they speak over how the feds are kind of scaring the markets. Well, let's get down to it. Yeah.
30-year Treasury yield hovering around 4.4%, which is a 12-year high. The yield tracking similar gains, which we are seeing on the 10-year, which is already at a multi-year highs. What is the bond market telling us about the economy? Centera Investment Management CIO and Director of Research, Gene Goldman, joins us now. Gene Goldman, thank you so much for being here with us on the Claimant Countdown today.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you so much.
You know, Gene, we are, talking about a lot of the news that has come out this week. And one thing that we're tracking right now is the federal FOMC minutes that were just released. One thing that I thought was kind of interesting that we were learning from those minutes was the last decision to hike the interest rate yet again, nearly a unanimous decision. Wondering what your take was that on that was, if you were surprised by that and what that might tell you about the potential for another interest rate hike.
Yeah, and great question. So for me, we are a little surprised because you think about it, the Fed raised rates unanimously in the last meeting, but we saw CPI, June CPI 2 weeks earlier came out well below expectations. So the minutes came out yesterday and it gave some great insight in terms of what the Fed was thinking. And I call it the 3 C's: cautious, confusion, and commitment. Cautious because the Fed said inflation is a little high, we're probably going to keep raising rates. Confusion, the Fed said inflation is high, but rates are very restrictive, suggesting that rates should be a little bit lower. And then commitment, the Fed said we are committed to watching data, which the Fed should be doing. This is what really freaked out the market, that commitment to data, because in the last month we've gotten, second quarter GDP above expectations. Retail sales blew through expectations. Third quarter GDP looks really good.
Guys, and everybody must notice that the feds have to keep this power. They're going to keep this market. They have to raise the volatility. They are trying to raise the VIX. So people being impended and sitting on every word of the feds, guys, do not fall victim to this Federal Reserve game. The greatest generational wealth transfers under play. Catch these banger companies while they are on discount. Tesla down at 219, up under that recent support at 225. Irregardless, the time is now to be dollar cost averaging. Y'all wanted to buy an opportunity. Here's your buying opportunities.
PPI, Producer Price Index, coming in above expectations. This is why the market's been freaking out a little bit. This is why rates have moved higher, along with lack of demand. Also with the fact that the Fed has indicated a higher for longer perspective, and this is all pushing upward pressure on yields for the near term.
Yeah, you just ticked off a lot of the things that we're all watching, things that would seem to indicate the strength of the economy, right? GDP seems to be growing.
Yes.
We just got retail sales out. That seems to be booming as of this week. How many more rate hikes do you think the Fed is really eyeballing right now?
Well, the Fed is looking. The Fed does want to tip their hat, but we at Centera think that the Fed is done. We think they're pausing. We think they're going to pause for the rest of the year, and they're going to maintain a higher for longer perspective. Well, why pause? Because inflation is definitely rolling over. Plus, as inflation comes down, real yields are still too high. This is going to act like an anchor on the economy. The Fed realizes this. Why higher for longer? Well, you think about this. Inflation is still above the Fed's target. Services inflation is still pretty high. But the most important point is that Jay Powell is a huge history fan of the Fed's mistakes in the past. And he always quotes in his presentations, in his speeches, Volcker from the late 70s and the early 80s. Remember Volcker back then, the head of the Fed? He raised rates, cut rates, and then raised rates dramatically. Powell wants to avoid that scenario. This is why we think it's going to be higher for longer.
So at this point in the markets, what do you really have your eye on when it comes to investment opportunities here as we're rounding out, the third quarter?
Essentially, he just told y'all what I said. Don't fall for the fake out, shake out. Guys, these companies like Tesla, Nvidia, Microsoft, who am I leaving? Apple, Amazon. These are long-term companies. I put these in a long-term basket, 5, 10, 15, 20-year horizon. I don't look at these now. You don't address the rest of your stocks, your swing trades and day trades. These are not going to be in that same category. Those you might want to be looking at if they're hitting all-time highs. You can cash out, catch back in, and do it again and watch repeat. But as far as these long-term, these are what you want to accrue on because you can't time these. And when they snatch, they go. Like I said, we're going to review over Nvidia's new price target, but let's get on through this.
What are you looking at?
Sure. We are a little cautious in the markets right now. So what this means is that we're a little overweight value versus growth. We are overweight small cap because small cap valuations are cheap. We are underweight non-U.S. We do think there's some opportunities a little bit down the road. One area that really scares us is high yield bonds. High yield bonds are at very narrow spreads. So what this means is that you're not getting enough compensation for the risk. And if you look historically, high yield bonds relative to commercial real estate, these two yields trade relative to treasuries trade very, very closely. But now what you're seeing is high yield spreads are flat. Commercial real estate, as measured by CMBS spreads, have surged dramatically. We're worried about that. So we're worried about high yield bonds. On the sector standpoint, we love industrials, we love healthcare, and we like financials. And financials seems like a surprise, but financials valuations are more attractive. You have some potential M&A activity. Also, you have the fact that easier comparisons year over year relative to capital markets, like fewer IPOs last year, fewer debt issuance last year. This is good for year over year comparisons.
Yeah, and an interesting point there, Gene, we just heard from JP Morgan Chase small business CEO saying that even small businesses are feeling optimistic, more of them starting to bring their businesses online, a good sign that there's confidence in the strength of the economy there. Gene Moore at Goldman, thank you so much there for joining us.
All right, guys. Just want to kind of get in that clip there so there can be a kind of overview of understanding that, one, the entire market is bloodified, but this is also a movement that's off of the Fed. This is them trying to incite this fear. They do this every single rotation for some reason. It's kind of like, which I understand, the markets get away like we were on that rally for the last 5-6 months, where it's kind of like it don't matter what you drop, that they were eating it up. The Feds have got to be able to push that fear in the market so they can maintain that control over these markets. But like I said, leaning into the future, I don't really see. Now they could if they hit with another Fed rate hike again and raise it up by another 25 basis points, then I'm gonna know they're taking this thing on up to about 6 or 7%. But right now I think they're trying to hold it down because they're at a good means. Numbers are growing. We have inflation stagnating, and they don't really want to push this into a recession type of thing. So I personally believe while in the short term, you're going to have a lot of volatility that comes in. This is that opportunity for buying. The same opportunities that I bought in when Tesla was at $100, $115 in January was during this same volatility and surety. This is the time period when you want to buy off of these dips. You don't want to have to try to catch it chasing in at the next tops. Catch it at these dips, find these support levels, and then, like I said, that's how you ensure yourself that you have these levels to where the next run that happens when there's a dip is not something that you feel. But let's get on down to it, guys. Our sweet AM sizzled up at 416 right now after hours, closed up 7%, moved another 3% up, and again, that's not highs because we hit almost 300. Almost 440 on the charts at some point during after hours. Currently sitting at, like I said, 416. Guys, this is all alluding to the fact that this halt might happen on this conversion depending on how Izzo comes. Like I said, I actually got some information kind of showing all three factors. Everybody must note that there's actually three lawsuits that are currently on AMC right now. So like I said, guys, all we need is a halt. I'm not looking for any decisions. I need an emergency injunction. I need them to stop this before, August 24th. They put a halt on it. Everybody go get your popcorn, and I ain't talking about AMC. Go in and get the Overenbacher. We not rolling like that with A. Get your Overenbacher and sit back and watch it what occurs. But let's keep on moving on down through. I want to take a quick look at APE right quick. APE up was up 219, up at 221. Guys, something's crazy going on. Both of these are moving. Both of these are moving. This is totally imperative and different of how things have been trading. Let's pull on through. 0 shares available still. So like I said, guys, the monster that we had brewed is still there. They needed that conversion. This conversion holds. This thing has gotten way out of control. 0 shares available. Borrowing at 921% cost to borrow. 879% cost to borrow. Let's see here. 60% short percentage on dark pool. Like I said, all irrelevant. Right now, we're actually seeing the truth of the fact of the matter of how this price is moving. Pulling on through. AMC threshold. On the last video, we got a bunch of comments. There were numbers between 30 when I asked about how long GME was on there, from like 36 to 40. I'm not sure exactly which one it was. We had everybody was saying numbers between there, but like I said, I'm thinking now that we're sitting around, I think this is the 37th or 38th day on the threshold list. I think it's official to say that AMC might be the longest. Or a stock that's been on the threshold the longest. I don't think there's been a stock that's been on here longer now. Somebody confirm if GME was at 40 or not, but I think AMC is now taking that belt. But I want everybody to key in on this. Does everybody understand that AMC now at this point is bigger than GME was on its movement up to 400? This play in itself right now, after 2 or 3 years of all the synthetic creation, the FUD, the APE creation, all it, this play is bigger in a more massive MOAS than GameStop was at that time period when we had that first run. I hope everybody understands that. This thing has developed into the monster. This is the market shaker. This is the market killer. So like I said, guys, we're teetering our thumbs and watching, but I want everybody to understand how big this actually is, and hence why, like that song said yesterday, it's going even more crazy. Why them Richmond, north of Richmond aren't stepping in and doing anything. This is things that lose Richmond up or north of Richmond's jobs and hedge funds. So like I said, this is a massive thing, but listen to that song just reaffirm the fact that why we're here, and the simple fact that why I decided to hold through the conversion, picked up my apes, and still kept my AMC, and then might buy more. It's just off the simple fact of this. One, I've leveraged the proper point to where I can actually diamond hand this. It's not something that's shaking my account, but also the simple fact that everybody must remember that this movement, one, started off with a short squeeze, but two, this was a movement of a fight against the oppressive nature of these hedge funds, market makers, and those that call themselves the governing agencies in this financial market. I want them to stress. I want Ken Griffin sitting up there sweating. I want him to go days without being able to take bowel movements. I want his stomach so uptight up in his chest that he can't eat. And that makes me feel better, like I said, because you're not going to sit up here and play us like we're dumb. The simple fact of the matter is this, guys. We pinned them 97 ways, 97 days, in 97 different positions. And like I said, they had to cheat their way out. And they're going to have to cheat their way all the way through it for me. You're going to have to show me something. Like I said, I'm here for it. I'm here to stay with it. But put it on through. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Estimated short interest back up to 28.27%. Up on the up climb, 40.68% in the free float on loan, sitting at 210 number again. Like I said, these are now clearly showing that things shouldn't add up with how much they say that AMC retail is supposed to own, plus what institution supposed to own, plus what's supposed to be available to loan out. Like I said, we've already been seeing these numbers deviate, but it's just better when it's getting higher. Obviously, this was at the beginning of the day. These are not actual correct numbers as far as cost bar. Cost bar percentage showing for them 303.98%. Utilization at 84.3%. Days to cover rising back up now to 77.56. I want to see it raise back up. 7 days ago it was at 8.4. Let's move it on over. Now this is what we're looking at. Cost bar average 963.21%. Cost of our max 1,006. Remember, yesterday it was 1,003. You got to hold on to it. Get this thing off mine. You got to hold on to it. Like I said, everything is climbing, guys. This monster's building up in the background. We all got our eyes up on it. But like I said, the confidence, I'm not seeing the confidence from the market makers and short sellers that was there. The fact these prices are rising, these lawsuits hitting, the unsurety, the fact that they didn't go ahead and continue shorting AMC, the fact that there hasn't been a massive buyout of apes like they knew that the conversion was going to go through. It's just got me sitting up here knowing, guys, this is a different predicament. Get your positions ready. Like I said, guys, don't be over leveraged to AMC. Be decently leveraged to AMC, because like I said, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800 shares, well more than enough to make a buku of money to flip and move. Like I said, hey, Jay Clark, proud of my boy. He's up there, big numbers, 5,000, 6,000, 4,000 shares. Hey, that's game changer. But also understand it. 1,000 shares, 800 shares, 500 shares is going to do it with Tootsie for you. Like I said, guys, we're getting the cash, and then we're moving on to our next maneuver. I'm not necessarily worried about getting rich off of one play. Now, that one play is going to be XRP for me, because like I said, we've been banging, but also the price point of where XRP is allowed me to accrue a lot more of those shares because we're so much earlier on it. But like I said, as far as the stock market, meme stocks, you get you a decent position holding and then move forward. We bounce past, move that, going to ops. Like I said, once all this settles out, we're going to be bringing options to the channel. We're going to be moving. We're making this money multiply. But like I said, this right now is a time where everybody should be, keep your eyes aware. This thing could move at any moment. Y'all saw how I just snatched up. Yesterday, weren't we just at like three, what was that? What we had threes? Yeah, I think we were around about 370, 360 yesterday. And now we're sitting up here where it's hitting up at 440. Like I said, the thing can move. That climb above that $6, that $5.50, that $6. If it happens in this timeline, I don't see them being able to stop it, especially within this 10-day frame. But if that whole happens, guys, you heard it. Put it on through. I just wanted everybody to list this out so everybody can be aligned with what's going on. There are 3 motions to stop the conversion currently right now. This is NFT happiness. 1, the APE holders suing AMC to also give settlement to the APE holders. This is the most recent filing with the guy that sounds very professional and is way more written out. There's suing on the behalf of APE investors, saying that they're getting screwed, which again, like I said, APE, AMC, we all in this, but like I said, you got to also understand some people, when that conversion happened, went heavy in the APE. So like I said, just moving back and cutting their shares and screwing them, that's not what they're trying to aim for. 2, you got Rose Izzo asking Supreme Court to do a stay via the appeal of Delaware Supreme Court, which is against the most recent ruling that they're trying to, they're hitting from that front, trying to stop that conversion going through, which is what the most, that is highly important if Izzo can get that stop, because like I said, that's the only thing that's ordaining them right now in this moment to even push through the conversion. The new APE shareholder, this is another kind of separate case, but with it pulling through, there is the ability for him to hold it, because for them to do the conversion, it affects his case and then also the shareholders that he's suing on behalf of. Rose Izzo is trying to hold the most recent judgment. And then there's a third, which is a Karen Girlish, which is asking for a rearrangement. I didn't even know about this, but I believe when our family was talking about this maybe a couple weeks ago, that there was a new court case, but I couldn't figure out which one it was. But now we got it laid out flat. These are the 3 that are up now, right now, on the block trying to stop the conversion or the reverse split that's occurring. Like I said, these 2 right here are very prominent, but like I said, I'm really liking this up here with this APE shareholder. I think that's very strong. Like I said, all of those injunctions are actually in front of the judge, and it's going to be the same judge again, guys. So Judge, what's the girl? Judge Zurns, Miss Zurns. Hey, I know I came off a little angry last time. Maybe you got a chance to redeem yourself with us, but it's back in front of Judge Zurns. We're going to see how this plays out. Like I said, this is very, very strong as far as the possibility of being able to hold back and hold this stuff off. Because all I'm asking for is a hold. I don't need the hold is all we need. Put a hold up there and see what occurs. I'm just telling you. Put it on through. Nvidia, we can wrap this bad boy up with this. Nvidia, new price target set to $800. Like I said now, 433. Hey, somebody's been screaming it now through amongst all the FUD. Just watch when it's next month and it's that I was the first person telling y'all. I'm not gonna say I'm the first person, but I've been the person continuously telling y'all, put a little tech in your tech, right? So we can put some more thoughts on those yachts. Do not be scared out of this generational wealth transfer. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Intel, Tesla. Guys, these are banger companies of the future for nickels on the dime. Do not get caught up in the right now. We're worried about tomorrow and the next day, a year from now, 5 years from now. Start the generational wealth transfer. Let's move on through. And how do we know, Brandon? Here's what happens when you start to look at stuff. Tonight I listened to the news and heard again that about Pelosi, we're not going to say the name, bill on Nvidia, and how Paul, her hubby, had invested $1 million into Nvidia stock right before the subsidy vote. Things that make you go, Well, whenever she goes into something, guys, just know that it's game time on that thing. So you got the #1 trader in the world magically. We don't know how. Like, oh, well, we're not saying anything. We don't know. We don't know how she does it. But her husband has doubled, or not doubled, but went in and put ample amount of cash into this Nvidia stock at this time period. So if you need more convincing that, I don't know what you need. I don't know what you need other than just seeing the price at 800. That right there should ring your bell. Should ring your bell. Ring your bell. Hey, listen, guys. Much love to y'all. Much support, guys. Listen, hey, if you haven't already, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Smash that like button. Everybody keep coming with those comments in the chat. I love talking to y'all down in the comments. And everybody, we're helping each other learn and get stronger as we're commenting, because there are more people than you know that are reading down through these comments and looking at our response, things like that, and taking and building off and getting stronger that I'll see on the next video that comment. This is what I love to see. This is what we're building this out of. This is a retail saga. This is a retail channel. A retail saga is only the beginning, but like I said, this is about a war of a battle of attrition, a battle against the Richmond, north of Richmond. Hey, we are in the greatest generational wealth transfer. And like one of our family members said, it's going to be the have-nots and those that have yachts. I'm going to be one of the have yachts because, like I said, what's coming down this pipeline next 5-10 years, if you have not, that's going to be hell on earth. I do not want to be a part of how egregious things are going to get if you have not had your money sitting right. Like I said, we talked about it. The generation up on that Generation Alpha, hey, we praying for them, like I said, because they gonna have some hard times to come fight through. I'm putting my parents put their leg out and pass baton. I'm getting my leg out, getting that thing building up so that my younger brothers don't have to fight that same adversity, just like I was able to get a leg up. And like I said, my kids are not gonna have to fight that adversity. My kids. This is a generational thing, guys. Just remember, you're one trade away from life changing money, wife changing money, yacht building money, thought building money. This is what we're doing. I'm here with y'all to the very end. We banging it out. And like I said, guys, as always, much love. And you already know what's next, don't you? Oh, God, let's scratch you over the weekend. Yes, sir!